Hello friends, welcome to Data Pandit. So today we are going to talk about hybrid connectivity in AWS. So we are going to connect from the client network or a client desktop, which is not directly connected to AWS. So we will have any Windows desktop sitting on the another network, and we are going to connect to that desktop to our network in Amazon network or any EC2 instance while sitting on the AWS region, right? So we are going to create the private VPN network. So through the private virtual private network, which is secure because end-to-end encryption is there. So that connection we are going to establish, and we are going to create the connectivity from the remote desktop to the AWS EC2 instance. So to do that, we need to provision a remote desktop, Windows remote desktop. Okay, we are going to utilize the AWS Workspace feature. That is another service in AWS itself to create the remote Windows desktop client. And first of all, we are going to do that, and then second is we are going to create the VPN endpoint uh, in our AWS region, and then we are going to you know create the certificate and all, AWS certificate manager, because uh, to authenticate and authorization purpose we need a certificate. So in this tutorial we are going to use the certification mechanism, and we can use the Active Directory thing as well, the Microsoft AD, to do the authorization and authentication. But in current tutorial, we are going to use the certificate, client server certificate. And then we are going to create the VPN endpoint, and we are going to configure the VPN endpoint. And then we are going to configure the connectivity between the our VPN endpoint from our remote desktop, which we have created in another region like North Carolina. So this workspace we are going to create as part of remote desktop in Carolina, North Virginia in US East one, and another thing like other VPN endpoint and other certificate manager and everything else, the EC2 instance which is running in uh, our AWS network is going to be created in North Carolina, California, okay, US West one. So these are the different region, and this remote desktop is going to be sitting in the another geography, right? So let's start creating the provisioning the resources. So first of all, we are going to create the workspace actually. So that we can create the remote desktop first. And to do that, we need to log in into the our AWS management console. And what we can do is like we can go to the Amazon workspace. If you could type like window AW or maybe workspace, you can type, and you can click on the workspaces, and this will looks like this. So you will have like currently North Virginia. So currently I have already created the workspace, therefore you are seeing this workspace already, right? But if you need to create another workspace again back, like let's try to create somewhere in some other region, let's say Oregon. I'm going to create the workspace. So how you create the workspace is you go to there are two setups, a quick setup and advanced setup. So advanced setup is required for Active Directory setup, right? So that we are not going to do because it's a much more configuration is required for Active Directory and all. So we are going to use the certificate mechanism for authentication and authorization. Therefore, we are going to use a quick setup. So when you do that, so I have listed out the steps over here. When you provision the AWS workspace for the remote Windows desktop, so you allow the quick setup and then create username and you need to create the username. So you username you may give. I have given my name, right? First name, then you give last name, then email address, and then do next. So you'll have a user, and then once you do that, so you will be offering the different options for what bundle you are going to select basically. So I have selected standard Windows 10 option. So maybe that is also free tier eligible. So you go and click over here, standard Windows 10 server 2019 based free tier eligible. You do that and go to the next, and your this one is getting created, right? Workspace is going to be created. So once you do that, so you will have a uh, you will have a uh, entry like this in this workspace. Okay, so I'm going to close this. So this is, I have a workspace created which is there in the North Virginia region. Okay, so once you do that, you will be having this. Okay, that's, it will take 40 or 30 to 40 minutes, sometimes at least 20 minutes to create and be available in your management console, like this workspace ID. So you will see this workspace ID and the volumes and all those things you will have. Then you, if you click on that, so you will see the links actually. So this is the link wherein you have to copy this link. Okay, and you need to go to the another tab and you try to open this. Okay, so what you going to see is you will have this kind of client, different client software, right? With respect to the different operating system like Mac OS, and then file tablet or web access, Linux or Windows. What we need to do is we need to download this client. So I have listed these options, these steps basically. After copying the link and paste in Firefox browser, that will take you to the installed client, for example, Windows. So in this instance, we are going to download this 64-bit client. Okay, download workspace software client for Windows, and then open workspace software and registration code in workspace software. So after the installation, um, after the installation, you would see that you have downloaded this, and after downloading, you need to install that. So once you install that, okay, so you will have download and install, and then open workspace software. Okay, so you need to you will see that you will need to open that workspace. There will be a client installed. Okay, this Windows. Then you will see the desktop icon, and then you click on that workspace, and once you click on that, you will, what you will see is open workspace software registration. So it will ask for the registration. So you need to register it. Click on customize, and then there will be a button of registration. So you click on so there will be a text box above. So in that text box, you need to paste this registration code, and then you do the registration. So once you do the registration, and then after doing the registration, you will be directed to the Windows, this kind of desktop. Okay, Amazon Workspace. So this client will be, this is your Windows client for Amazon Workspace site, whatever you have chosen, right? So this you will be redirect to here. Okay, from there, right? After registration and completing that process, you will be taken into this desktop. Okay, so after that, okay, log into the workspace software using username and password. So this will be asking username and password, right? Once you click on that So once you download this software for Windows and you do the registration and you so you will so meanwhile you will receive the email from the administrator, right? AWS administrator, and you click on that email. There will be a link for creating the password. So that password you are going to use while login into the that workspace software. So once you do that, then you will be redirected to the this kind of desktop basically. So, okay. And then what you need to do is this will open your Windows 10 desktop as a client. Okay, client desktop. So these steps we have kind of completed. So after that, what you need to do is I have a link, right? So you need to create this authorization thing, actually certificate you need to create basically. So once you do that, so I have an open, right? If you open this link, okay, so you will see that there will be a how client VPN works. So you click on that client VPN works. You click on the client authentication, and you come to the mutual authentication. Okay. So go to the mutual authentication. Okay. So these are the steps for Linux or Mac OS or Windows. We need to do the for Windows. Therefore, I have clicked on over here, right? So go to the Windows and then you see the steps, right? So open VPN community download. So once you come here, right? So you click on over here and open the Firefox and go to the, let's say, google.com. Then you try to download the OpenVPN software. Okay. I think there is a problem while loading. Video main to Okay, currently I think this internet connectivity is not working. Let me check why it is not working. This thing is working, but okay. GitHub is working. I think there is a problem while connectivity. So so let's so it was working earlier. So therefore I could install the OpenVPN Connect and all. Right. So if it is not working, then there is some issue, I think. So okay, so what you need to do is you need to install the OpenVPN community download installer. Okay, use Windows 64 installer and customize the installer. So what I was talking about is like you have to install so if you click on over here, so I have installed, if you go to the downloads, right? So you will see that I have installed these things, right, already. The installers I have already. So earlier, whenever, because to install these software and all, earlier it was working, right? So if you see this, so it was working okay, and I could install. So currently, I am not sure why it is not working. Some network issue, I guess. Maybe, but it is going to be not permanent. It may be, yeah, I think it's updating or something. So, okay, let's go ahead with the steps basically. So, uh, skip the steps. Let me see if it is working currently. Still, I think there is a problem. Open VPN community downloads you need to open. Maybe it is slow basically. It's trying to open. Problem loading page. Okay. So let's move ahead with the steps basically. So you will see the after installing this OpenVPN connectivity. So you will see different type of our software. So you what you need to do is OpenVPN connect. So this you need to do. So once you click on the installs, okay. Currently it's already installed, so it is not So once you do the installation, it will be asking for the options actually. You need to customize the installation process. Yeah, this has come actually, open community model. Okay. So the latest you need to install. Okay. So OpenVPN, like .msi, let's say, the 64-bit MSI installer, you can download it. And once you do the download, then you will see that because if you are not installed, then whenever you click on it, then you will be asked for the customization of the installation process. So you need to do the two changes. First change is you need to do the installation in the D directory. So by default it comes as a C colon program files and okay, C program files and this will come OpenVPN. These three things will come. The path will come as a C program files. But what you need to do is you need to go to the D. Because we have a D drive only. So you need to go to the D drive and then D program files and OpenVPN. So D you need to select, and then there will be another option which is called as an there is another customized installation, right? D drive you need to install an open SSL certificate utilities. So there will be option called open SSL certificate utilities. There you need to click on it and you need to select easy RSA 3 certificate, management script, and click on install. After installation, after installation, you know you need to go to the command prompt. Okay, so in command prompt you need to follow these commands actually. So once you install this OpenVPN connectivity, OpenVPN community download, 64-bit installer, if you complete that, you know so this you download, and your download is there over here in the download section. And then after this installation has been completed, you need to go to the command prompt, and in the command prompt itself you need to run few commands, right? This is the sequence of commands you need to run. You go to the program files and this directory, okay, in the D drive. Here it is in C drive, so you need to go to the D drive basically over there. So you see this, where you need to go to, you need to go to the, let's say, and if I type dir over here, not here, you go to the dir and you need to go to the, let's say, go to P. Then I have a directory called OpenVPN. So you go to the OpenVPN, and within the OpenVPN, let me check what is we have. We have easy RSA, right? So you go to the easy RSA. Then you type on this one. So you have a bat file over easy_rsa start.bat. So if you got that, then you need to run this, this command, and then after you need to command this pki command, and you copy this much only, because this is a prompt. So you copy this one. So one by one, you until the step 7 you complete it, and in this process you will see uh, somewhere you need to give the server path, server name. So you give the OpenVPN server command prompt whenever it's prompted for server name. You give the open, yeah, or I think VPN server. You give the some VPN server, not OpenVPN server. Okay, you give this name. So that's all you need to do. Okay, in this one. Okay, now so that's all with respect to the. Now we need to do the certification upload from this workspace desktop to the certificate manager which is residing in our another region, right? So this much we have completed, like we have prepared the remote Windows desktop. Now we need to do the certification, authorization and everything else. So to do that, what we need to do is we have created. So after the installation and all, right? These command run, you will see that if you go to the D directory, you need to go to the program files. You need to go to the VPN and you need to go to the easy RSA, and then these kind of installation would be done, right, as part of these command run, right? Now we need to go to the certificate manager. So certificate manager, if you type on the certificate manager, so you will be listed like services like certificate manager, provision, manage and deploy SSL certificate. So these certificates we need to import to do the connectivity, right? So I have created a, already imported the certificate, but let's go through it actually what we need to do and what. So once you do that, once you will not have these, right? So what you need to do is you need to import it. So first of all, there are three things: certificate body, private key, and certificate chain. So these three information I need to have, from the uh, workspace desktop. Okay. So what you need to do is go to the this CGRSA path, go to the PKI, and you need to go to the issued directory, and you need to go to the server. So if you click on this, you need to open it with the notepad. Okay. So you will have this content, right? You copy this content and close this and come over here and paste over here. Okay. And then again, you need to go back to the directory and go back to the private, and you need to copy the server and open it with the uh, let's say notepad, and you will have this content, right? You copy this content and then you can close this and you paste over in the certificate private key. Okay, and then we have a certificate chain. So you go to the workspace and certificate chain is like this CA. So this file you need to open again with the, not like this, you need to open with notepad, and this file you need to copy over here. I'll keep it open because I need it again second time. So you need to come over here and you need to do it here. So then you do the next, and then you do the next, and then this will be listed over here in your certificate as a server certificate. Okay, so the server certificate will be coming. So domain name will be server because we have done this for importation of the server. Now we need to do for the client, right? So we need to do again import, and then we will have again three things, right? Bodies or private key and chain. So similarly, you need to go to the Amazon workspace desktop and this similar directories. Go to the easy RSA, go to the same directory P, then you need to go to the not issued. Now go to the private, and you will have the, this one client. So now you need to open it with the notepad and you copy it and paste over. I'll also close it, paste over where, paste over this one, and then the second time what you need to do is you need to go to the up directory. You need to go to the, sorry, okay, for the first one, right? So you need to, earlier we taken server, now you take the private, and from the for the certificate body, what you need to do is, for the client you need to go to the issued, and this one you copy the content from over here actually. Now this content you need to copy, and for the private key, what you need to do is you need to go to the up above. So there are two files basically. Go to the private and then client domain.tld, right? So this file you need to copy and paste. And but for the third part, right, certificate chain, you always use the content of this file, CA file. But for the server, you need to the server, this one and this one, okay. And for the client, you need to go to the client file, okay, client one, from the two directories, right, for the certificate key and for the certificate body and the private key. Yeah, so then you import it, so you will have two certificate, right? So now we have completed this part actually. Use AWS in North Carolina. It's another region, right? So now we are going to create the VPN endpoint in the same North Carolina, US West one. So let's create the VPN endpoint. So I have already created the VPN endpoint, but I would show you how we do that. So create VPN endpoint. What you need to do is my VPN endpoint, let's say one I'm creating. So you need to give the name, then you don't have to give the description. So now you need to give the VPN CIDR, right? So this CIDR you try to give this one, let's say 10.5.0.0, and let's say we are going to give the 20 as a, you know, this mask we are going to do. Okay, side cannot be larger than 12 or smaller than 22. So this range, let's say you are going to give, okay. Okay, I'm going to so why I'm going to give this range is because, so anything from this IP address can be taken by the um, by our this one, while connecting to the connecting from remote desktop to or VPN endpoint, right? And then you need to give the authentication information, okay. So authentication, the server first I need to give, and then use mutual connection, then you need to give the client one, okay. So these you need to configure, and then you don't have to do connection logging or connection handler. Now DNS IP address. So DNS IP address, let me try to give this one actually. My VPN is in 172 or something, like 172 dot, let's say 3 dot, sorry, 31 dot 0 dot 2. If I give this, okay. And DNS server IP address, two IP address you don't have to give. So give this IP address, so that we are going to create, you know, so my EC2 instance would be in this basically, and as part of this, my VPC is in default, so therefore my EC2 instance would be somewhere in this range actually, within this CIDR block, okay. Now you select the VPN. I'm taking the default one. Security group also the default one I'm taking. And then you need to VPN port 4443 and session timeout hour 24, and then create the VPN. So once you do that, so you will see, you know, you will have this kind of VPN. So it will take some time to be available basically. So CIDR range is 10.5.0.0 for me, okay. And you will see this whole everything. So there is an association, network association. So you need to associate the target network. So I'm going to create the VPC. I mean, so my EC2 instance would be residing in the US West 1B actually, in the availability zone, this availability zone. So I'm going to configure this VPC, my default VPC, and then the subnet you need to take the subnet which is you are going to use whenever you are going to create the EC2 instance. That you need to take care. So you associate it. I have already association, so you can check this association already. If you go to this one and you if you would like to see, then this is the association ID, and then subnet internet security group I have taken, and endpoint I have taken, right? So that you that's how you can associate your network, right? And then there is an authorization rule. Okay, authorization you need to add authorization, and you need to give the this any I mean any IP address or IPv4 address. So the destination network to enable access is coming in the from any, let's say, but you need to uh, you know you can restrict it, okay, using the allow access to users in a specific access group. Okay, that also you can do. Allow access to all users I am going to do for now, and then you associate it. Okay, then authorize it actually for everything. Now we have a route table, so you can see that route table is it will be coming automatically whenever you associate the subnet. Now this route table you don't have to create actually. So if you see this, so this is automatically come. Once this one is available, right? This VPN, so it will take some time to be available basically in the state. So you need to download the client configuration. So once you download the client configuration, and it will be there in your file, right? Your download directory, client configuration, right? This kind of file you will see after downloading. So you need to copy the content from this file. Okay, you edit it and you copy this content from this file, and then you take this content to the Amazon workspace. You create one file over here. I have created in desktop basically. So this file you create, open the notepad, and then you create this file basically, and then save as this file with the name as client config.op VPN. Okay, so I have given these steps basically. So create VPN endpoint, download client configuration, copy the content, create a file in AWS Workspace, Windows, desktop while copying the configuration content, save the file name as client config.ovpn. Okay, this file is going to be created. So once you create this file, you need to amend this file as basically. If I want to open this file again with the notepad, you will see this file. So these two lines will not be available whenever you save that content, right? So now you need to give this. What I will do is I will give this path over here actually. Amend the certificate with the key path. Okay, these two lines you need to copy basically. So these are the common common lines actually. So you need to just copy and paste over in the Amazon Workspace Manager in this file actually, whatever you have shown as a OVPN. Okay, once you do that, you need to open the GUI actually. So once you install that, right, VPN, Open VPN, so you will see that there is an GUI installed over here. So I'm just minimizing everything over here in the workspace. Mm, Let me close this. So I'm going to reconnect it. Okay. So it is getting reconnected actually. My desk workspace has been session has been timed out. So I think okay. By the time this session comes out, so what we can do is we can create another things actually. So I think it is coming out. So yeah. So by the time it comes up, what we can do is we can create an EC2 instance in the North Carolina, US West one. So the VPN, the certificate manager, and the EC2 instance will be residing on the same region. So what we can do is I have an instance. So you need to do is what you need to do is you need to create the instance. Okay, launch instance over here. You gave the name EC2 instance or something. Then you do the simple configuration, free tier eligible, D2 micro, create, maybe you can create the VP, this key pair. Okay, I have already, then I can select it. Then what you need to do, you modify the settings, right? We take the default VPC, create a subnet 1B, right? So in net VPN, we have specified that specified the this one, right, subnet 1B. So you need to create this one, and anything else also we need to create the security group. You create the security group, web access security, let's say this security group, and so there are two rules here. SSS rule is already there, so that is fine. So again, next rule you need to do is, you need to do the ICMP, right? So we need to ping the thing. So we have to have the ICMP, custom ICMP you need to give, and protocol you use the echo reply, and then source type is anywhere. Then you save it, right? Then launch the instance. Your instance would be launched, and you will see that this is kind of instance you are going to receive, right? Whenever it comes in running stage, what you need to do is you need this IP address, private IP address basically. So let me go to the workspace. So I think it has come up, right? So I think it is asking for password. So you know that, right? So I have given the password, and so so I told you, right? So let's go back to the earlier steps. So when you do the institute instance, it will be created automatically, right? So 2 by 2 checks is passed, and then what you need to do is you will have a GUI, open GUI, whenever you do the steps, right? So until this steps, right? Run the command by one in command prompt. So whenever it is prompted, so when you do the installation, right? So you will have GUI installed, right? Open VPN GUI. So when you open the VPN GUI, so what you so once you start this Open VPN GUI, right? This software you start, you will see this one running actually. So right, Open VPN GUI connected. So what you do is you need to do the right right click on it, go to the import. Once you click on import file, and then you so this file you saved, right, client config.opvn OVPN site. So you configure it, and then you open it, and then it will be imported successfully. The message will come as imported successfully. After that imported successfully, what you need to do is you go and you need to right click over here, and then there will be a connect. So you click on connect. Currently it is already connected, so therefore it is not showing as a connect. So you need to connect, and then there will be wizard will be opening, and it will be showing as a connected. So okay, now our setup is already done, right? So we have the EC2 instance running. We can see that our VPN connection is already running. Like, see the VPN, and then if you refresh it, so you need to check the state is available. You check the associations associated already. You check the authorization active, security group, everything is we have, right? Now you can it's time to test the connection, try to ping the. So what we want to do is we have to open the this one, and we try to ping the EC2 instance which is residing in the North California, right? So my EC2 instance which is there in North California, open the, copy this IP address, go to the workspace and try to ping it. Okay. Oops. I think this is not there. Okay, my This one is not copied or what? Control C. Okay. So what is this? I need to ping 172.31. Ping 172.31 dot 12.241, right? 12.241. So you can see that this is replying, right? So you sent the packet 4, received 4, lost 0, right? So this connectivity is happening. So the thing is like sometimes it doesn't connect. So what you need to do is you need to check the your VPN connection. So first of all, there are 3 things which we can consider upon, right? So first of all, like this certificate, this sometimes the connection doesn't work. This thing doesn't work actually. This I said all right. This connection doesn't work. So you have the logs as well, right? When you right click on there and view logs, so you can go to the logs and you can see the logs. You will if there is a connection problem, you can see this logs and try to analyze it. So this is first thing, and then the problem could come like there is a problem in this certificate and all. The certificates are not okay, then you can do another time, and right, you can try to correct it, and then you could check one of the thing is like so you have a VPN connection, everything is okay, then security group, right? So maybe your security group, you need to go to the security group of your EC2 instance, right? So go to the security group. So my EC2 instance is residing under this security group, or try to amend the inbound rule, right? So this all ICMP inbound rule, right? This is important, which is coming in from the different from the anywhere, right? From the IPv4 internet address. So this also you need to check, right? Whenever there is an issue in connection, right? Or if ping is not working from there, you need to connect it. So the thing is like we have established the connection. So this connection is coming over the internet actually. It's not from the AWS backbone network. So this connection is coming from the outside, right, and to the AWS region, right? EC2 instance we are seeing. Okay, this is how we can connect it basically. So once you do this connection, right? So once you have done the setup and all, so you need to remove these resources actually. So the certificate manager, the EC2 instances, and the VPN endpoint, right? So everything you need to remove basically, or the workspace actually, so that you don't have to incur the cost. Okay. So with that, thank you so much. Please subscribe my channel, and we are going to see this uh, networking part and other videos in times to come. Thank you so much.